Started the live. Hello? I'm not able to hear you. Are you talking something?
Yeah, I'm on mute.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So you were telling something, right, when we were disconnecting?
1 minute. Yeah, yeah. What I'm suggesting, like to promote the more affiliates, uh, I'm saying that who you like me, I just shared the your these links, affiliate links and all. Uh, you need to you need to check that whether the people can do like that. For those only you can make them affiliates. Simply coming and only checking for the course and all, that is a different one.
Okay, okay. But making more affiliates is not going to make any harm, right?
Affiliates, getting them like more affiliates. For, anyway, what we need to target is we need to check for the leads.
Okay, that.
In which way? Yeah, if you get more leads, more conversions will give more revenue.
Yeah, that I understand. Instead of restricting them, I can focus
Mm.
on active affiliates. That's what you are
Yeah,
saying, right?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
correct, correct.
That I realized that mistake. Previously, I talked to around 35 people, and most of them were inactive only. So now I realized I need to change the strategies. So I keep
Yes,
on learning and changing the things. But
yeah,
at least so
that,
far some things I need to stick on to that, even that things are not working. That I explained, right? Timesheet software, auto resume software, those things, because of the frequent changes, that got affected. So this time I am very particular about making my AI course very successful, irrespective of all the difficulties. So if
correct,
there
correct.
is some shortcomings, I have to look for like as a workaround to handle. Like that, I decide. Okay, let's start that. These are the questions you were asking that day, right?
Yes,
Self-refined prompt, diverse prompt, tablet check. That's so I just did some and came up with newspaper for this for tablet. But all the other things, as expected, they are just some kind of type. Some start with it. Also, but obvious to be refined by itself. LLM. Say for example, here they provide a beautiful overall architecture. Like we are giving input to that LLM, right? And we are asking the same LLM to give feedback about that output, and we have to ask the same LLM to refine that previous output based on its own. Maybe a bit confusing, but if you example that
okay,
here it's asking, I'm interested in playing table tennis. Responses here it is, and here again we are asking right now. So the feedback provided by the LLM. The actual response, we are asking it to provide feedback. Then we are asking it to find that previous answer based on its own. So the fundamental thing is that hallucinations we were talking, right? So all the things are there within their trained things, right? So, but sometimes it's working properly, sometimes it's not working properly. For example, if we ask how many days are there in August, still it's today also I tried. Today it said two. Let's see now how. Now it's saying one. Okay. So actually, it is there. The data has the ability to count the letters in word, right? But it's not able to do. That is where that prompt engineering is coming. How to the very simple thing is like chain of thought. Maybe here itself we can assume that we are going to ask LLM. We can ask like count it step by step. Like we do that, that hallucination will go. That is chain of thought.
I think there are for every LLM there are some parameters they used to set, uh,
Something like
like
temperature.
yeah, temperature. There are, I think there are almost 7 to 8 parameters I saw in some of the course. uh, Temperature and something like a regression something.
But that hyperparameters are based on the model. Which model? Lot of models
If
like
you want to check those parameters in the chat gpt, for example, if you want to tune the chat gpt,
yeah.
how we can do that?
Yeah, that thing, in case temperature. Oh, you are asking about how to do it in the ChatGPT itself, right?
Chat gpt itself, yes.
ChatGPT itself, we have much control. In case of Gemini, AI Studio is providing that option. There we can set the temperature, other things, or we can write simple Python code to connect with the API. That will be AI Studio is having that option.
Google AI Studio.
There we can set the temperature, key parameters, not
No,
all the things.
no. What, for every parameter there is something background is there. If you increase that parameters and all, what effect the LLM will bring it up?
Yeah, mostly commonly used one is temperature. Other all the other things are internal things. That for as a user, a temperature is for creativity. That high temperature, your temperature is one, it will be like in highly creative mode. You can can uh, do deep imagination. The imagination interesting for writing poems, for creating stories, for that and all. Being high temperature will. If we reduce the temperature, it will be for more fact oriented. Like it's like factual information for GK. But
What are
we
the other like internal parameters? If you want to set those parameters, maybe what we can do that, and what is the purpose of each and every parameters?
Yeah, that's certainly. You are. I think you are asking that this parameter, common parameter, is completely hyperparameters. These common parameters, the temperature, that kind of things, we can set it. But we have like normally other that LLMs are not other parameters. But in case you are creating your own model, you understand the difference, right? This suppose this Gemini is created by, right? They be knowing lot of hyperparameters will create it. But they are opening that API first, like for making one or two changes, like temperature. But actual hyperparameters, lot of hyperparameters. Normally they are deep learning models, right? So that I showed Google TensorFlow. You remember this, right?
Yes.
In the GPT-5 model, they are bit like improving it further. Up specifying some parameters. Say, for example, previously we got to say that whether the prompt is system prompt or user prompt, like that. Now they are making it in some other different way. Straight away, we can say whether it is an instruction prompt or a question prompt, like that. So they keep on changing. It's from user perspective, but internally that parameters will be like this. That we discussed, right? Layer runs. So these are the parameters: and planning rate, activation, optimization, number of epochs, session, number of epochs, not edit. But actual thing can set control number of epochs. put large number of epochs, like if you comparing to 5 epochs, the accuracy will be less. 50 epoch, but it is during training process. But your question is about inference, then
These
with
parameters only. Yeah, my question is like
inference.
EPO.
That
These are all different parameters,
yeah,
as you
this is for
mentioned.
these are for like training, like running rate. How much? What is the speed should be
Yeah, some of
produced?
them is directly like, for example, if it is a learning ratio, that we understand like okay, the if you increase the ratio,
Rate
it will
quickly learn.
it
Increase the rate, it will be learn quickly. If you reduce it, it will do very step. That step, like normally, if you study these things, they will tell one analogy. Like if assume that there is one small hill, you have to reach the top of the hill. Either you can move step by step, small steps, right? First step forward to some level, and then next step from there jump to another level. Like that, you can move. Okay, that is low learning rate. In that case, you will be reaching the top, but it will take some time. But if we increase the learning rate, some moderate rate, some appropriate rate, then you can at one jump you can directly go to the top, right? If you increase your jumping, but if you increase beyond that level, you will be like you will not be reaching the top of the hill. That you will be like falling down on the other side of the hill, right?
it will give the negative results. Yeah.
Yeah, you won't be reaching the thing because you are going beyond that, so you may not be. So the suggested way is I am talking about all these things are related to training. Training, you have to start with a small learning rate, then we need to like increase it step by step. You have to
No,
put it in.
how come they got to these parameters like 0.0001 or 01 or 0? I think these numbers are something they could have done some research and they come up with these numbers, no? How
Maybe
they have been come up
maybe
with these
frequently
numbers?
set numbers like that, right? Stop
Yeah.
allowing us to type it, they provided this. They will
No,
be
like
the
we can't.
major changes will be happening after 3 and 10. So it's based
Okay.
on their historic data.
Oh, okay. They come up with these numbers based on the historical
So
learning.
for this interface, if you are going to use in your code, you can set your own number. That is different. Right? This is just for this
Mm.
user interface. Otherwise, if you put 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that means the list will be lengthy, right? For that purpose only. Otherwise, well, if you are going to do your learning, if you are going to do set the learning rate for your in our coding, we can set. But
No,
these
like
are
there are some these numbers are not something like a direct 1, 2, 3 or something like that. They have some specific like 0.001 on next 0.3 and next 0.1, then
yeah, that
next
I
one.
understand. That maybe internally it may be.
Yeah, they could have come up with these numbers by some research they could have done, and they have come up
Uh,
with this one, I think.
that may be.
Mm.
But what I'm
And
trying to
what
say,
about this activation?
active function is it's kind of like for introducing the non-linearity. Maybe we can go after studying machine learning and deep learning. That time we can discuss.
Okay, okay, sure, sure,
It's
no
because
problem.
for that first we need to understand why we need to include non-linearity, right? Step by
Yeah,
step.
sure, sure, okay,
As the plan today we can discuss about RAG.
okay, sure, sure.
Normally, in the previous batch I continued like very basics, and but since we are much interested in advanced things, just to complete in advanced things, then we can fundamental
Sure, 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 sure. Yeah, yeah, okay,
just to save the time because the previous batch I had 24 sessions. Now
okay.
This one is okay, right? That self
Yeah,
refined.
we just need to speak like an as a friend. Like self refine means, yeah, we just throw an idea like I want to play this one, and then based on the reply from the LLM, we will push some more thing, and it
It's
will
not like
bring the.
it's all the things are done by LLM. That is why they call it self refined. We are not going to do
Yeah,
this.
okay,
We are going to
okay.
like normally full case. We will be sending sending our prompt, right?
Mm.
Prompt to LLM response. We will be taking it out, right? But
Mm.
here self refined. The LLM is doing. They are giving the prompt. LLM is and it and for that response, LLM is asking itself to give feedback about the response, whether what tell about this response, that the response is suitable for that prompt like that. So that
Okay,
feedback. So now it is again asking generate response based on the feedback, including that feedback.
okay,
For example, you are asking the LLM to uh, ask like describe microphone. Okay. So LLM is saying that microphone for getting the audio for recording purpose, like that something. And additionally, maybe as it is giving some wrong information also. Say for example, it will be only in black color, like that something correct information. So in the next time we are asking that LLM will same LLM we are asking that LLM give feedback about that response. So in that case, it will be finding that okay, it's okay, but that last line about color is wrong, like that it will be right. So then we are asking to generate a response including that feedback. That time it will be properly creating the response without that wrong.
okay,
That is
okay,
why they are calling it. But as I said, this one also it's not a big deal, right? It's all kind of it's a derived things only, not about fundamentally, not about right. So whatever that OpenAI actually that things are closely related to LLM. We won't be knowing that if they are not telling it. Say for example, just adding step by step will solve the problem. Here we noticed, right? So previously when I asked how many Ds are there in August, it said one. Now just by adding this sentence, count it step by step. Now it's saying that there are no Ds. So this is chain of thought. So
okay,
these things we should be learning. Otherwise, we may not be knowing about it. Okay, but other things it's purely based on our creativity, our imagination, our logical. One kind of such thing. So in this way, you can also think in different ways.
okay,
And whenever we are talking about chain of thoughts, one shot, multi shot, that kind of stuff, it's applicable in both perspectives. So initially, people will be tending to getting confused with that. One is from prompting point of view. Okay, so from prompting point of view, also that one shot prompt is there. Similarly, training point of view, also one shot learning is there. Sometimes but the concept is same while asking LLM the prompts to one example, then one start. At the same time, if you are training the LLM with while doing training, if you provide only one example, then again that also one start. But be very context.
okay,
Enough that this is kind of work for its diverse prompt. It's a very, very simple one. Got it from some type. Here, I'm seeing this one relevant. No, there,
Yes, yes. The why they are something like an it was
yeah,
DIVERSC something. They are
yeah. Normally, a lot of people are doing that just to create some kind of curiosity, so that people will be buying their templates. They will be selling it for $3, $4. So people will just buying it. And what is that?
oh,
That
okay.
time,
Yeah.
prompt engineering was very, very hot topic. Right? That time, I used to see there are a lot of things. Feel like they their innovation is in creating that kind of appreciation. Appreciation. Like they, I used to see a lot of things. And if we come road, we can find a lot of things. Some frameworks, they will be just even just for give clear prompt, give limitations for just they will take the first letters and they will frame a word from that, and they will say that use this formula for LLMs properly, like that. They will release some books. This diverse is that kind of thing. Just they named it in this way, but actually diverse prompting. Just we have to try different formatting. Like here, suppose I want to count it, how many D's are in August. That is one way, right? Other way is August has how many. Okay, if we count D's in August, what will be the result? There are different ways, right? So that's what they are calling diverse. So it's an obvious thing, right? So but when we do in the programmatic way, maybe systematically we can create, like we can use different LLM. One LLM for creatively like taking one prompt and creating multiple prompts based on that prompts, equivalent prompts, right? And we can use that multiple prompts in another LLM to come up with the results. And we can check all the results. If there are any descriptions, results, we can check that it's hallucinate. It's a good approach only, but that naming other things are got the point, right?
Yeah. Yeah. This diverse maybe only for naming you are saying, nah? But I think I
The
thought
concept is
this.
there, concept, good concept only, but
Okay.
just they are talking about simple diverse prompting only. Like we have to,
Okay.
like as an example, for asking the same thing, we can ask in different ways, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
or if you ask in one way, LLM will be giving correct things. If you are asking in different way, it may hallucinate. So in that case, if you are asking it in five different ways, like if all the responses from the five different ways were exactly same, so we can assume that it is not hallucinating, right? So we can take it as a reliable answer. Like so, the it's like obvious trick.
Okay. Maybe there is. I understand. Like there is something for DI means there will be diversification.
Yeah, they
We.
provided something. Just as I said, they are telling diverse concept. You could understand, right?
Okay. I just want to like know the one of the example for this. How we
Okay,
can.
let me tell here. Same example. Started telling
Okay.
how many D's are there in
Hmm. Okay.
always give wrong answer. So
Hmm.
when I added count by step, correct answer, because it is chain of thought prompt.
Okay.
Okay, that is 100% clear thing, right?
Yes. 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 I understand that. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
we can do is the same question can be asked in different way, right? Without
Yes.
including any additional step, like same question. What are the differences?
Yeah. Could you please
Count
Could
the
you please
days in
help me?
August, right?
Could you please help me to count number of days in August? Number of days in
Count,
August.
right?
Yeah.
Otherwise,
In count the days in August string that we can mention.
but here also we have provided sync, right? So ideally we shouldn't be change the meaning or
Okay.
anything.
Okay. Okay.
The
Fine.
NLP from NLP perspective.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you are changing the context, other things means then it coming into other category, right?
Yes.
So
D
there we
means
are
there
giving,
should be some apostrophes for the D or something like that.
then also we will be changing that, right? So that is based on the apostrophe, it's working a different way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what.
So here in case of diverse things, it's the same prompt we have to reframe the words in different,
In the multiple frames. Okay.
and then we have to get the answers for each prompt, and we have to compare the response, and we can ask some LLM, are you finding any difference in these different sentences, like that we can ask. If it is saying that yes, I
Or
found,
like we can mention like, or there is no D in August, something like that. There are multiple ways we can put it, like in different diverse question, we can put the same prompt into
yeah,
multiple ways.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Then after, what we need to do?
That after that we have to separately get response for this
Okay.
response,
For each and every response, we need to get separately. Okay.
and then we
Okay.
have to ask the LLM to find are you seeing any major difference between these responses, like that we can.
Okay. Okay.
Even you can develop it as a product also, like to improve the reliability. So just if we are asking how many hours the August, like first step we can ask one LLM. This is what agents are there, right? That age
Yeah.
we can
Yeah.
ask create one agent for creating multiple questions from single question, and another agent for creating a response for each derived response, and another agent for comparing all the another agent for checking the results of all the results, and then finally one agent for creating all the things. Okay, it can give the common response. If there are some description, can explain. So that is what the agentic AI will I will be talking about.
Okay.
So that is what now people are saying that agentic AI is a very boom kind of thing, because really LLM is hallucinate. But with the simple this agentic concept, we can the reliability with the same LLM. We are not going to use any other LLM or something. You got the point, right?
Correct. Correct.
That is why now people are celebrating the unreliable LLM is becoming somewhat reliable. Either it can give the correct answer, or at least it can say that this answer is having some different or some kind of issues. Yes, we can care about it. Clear, right?
Yes. Yes.
But as I said, these are all just hype kind of this name and all. But we have to explore various ways based on our use cases. When I was working with that tag related things, I explored a lot of things based on that use cases. But later on, I realized that some people are giving some names for that kind of thing. But that named things are very limited. But based on our use cases, we need to do a lot of changes. Like first, we have to do the re-ranking. After that, we have, like again find another, like that. Lot of things based on our use cases. Got the point, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
in that case, we can also give some. Maybe if you are frequently working with something, and we are finding some 4 5 patterns are always useful. Then for our internal purpose, we can give some name for each pattern, and based on the use cases, we can just, if we have a team, we can ask the team to follow this pattern. Like that's why it's okay. Not
Okay.
against giving these names and all, but some people are for selling books or framework, they are selling it as a framework. It's a very common thing, but they are selling as framework, and even they are charging for API, that kind of stuff. Okay, for very beginner, it's okay. Say, so for example, one person wants to create some kind of prompt engineering based small is not aware of all these development related things, and his business logic may be good, and he wants to get some reliable output only instead of using normal LLM. He wants something reliable LLM. In that case, we are as a developer, we can create some kind of this diverse framework. Can give API access. In that API access, he can send his only that input query, and as output he can get that output response, and whether the response is reliable or not. Got the point, right? So in that
Yes.
perspective is okay. Otherwise, for us developers or IT background people, not that much. Yes, we have to think in different ways when going to implement diverse tablets. That also it's a very like a
Okay.
somewhat like chain of thought. Chain of thought. If you ask it to do it step by step, the same thing here. If we ask it like do tabular form like example, some traditional way here they
Yeah.
did it now.
Yes. Yes.
The obvious one. Take us at the normally if we ask it will be giving wrong answer. That fundamentally right.
Oh, okay. Normally, if you put it in
LLMs
the
are very poor in mathematical. They won't like the third grade or fourth grade mag. The problem if you ask that it won't.
okay.
That is where that chain of thought because it's right 200 meaning will be 7 right
207, 7 plus
100
107. Yeah. Mm.
39 again then
40, that 107 minus 39. Okay. 40, if we take the 40, 60, uh, 60 plus 19, 79. 79 will be there.
calculate
And we need to reduce one, 78. It should come as a 78. Yeah. It came as a 62. Okay.
gross is 6
79 minus 6 means it's 73.
turns means reaching the bakery right we
Back
got to add
back
it
to back to the okay. So 79 minus 6 means 85. 200 minus 93.
final is
Mm. 68 plus 24. That's what I told.
but saying 62 right
Mm.
you ask LLM saying that 60 normally I or any kind of such mathematics means it will be like subtracting 200 and adding some understand
Mm,
that's
mm,
how LLMs are that day is clearly suspect right they are not cognitive though we are calling it artificial intelligence it is not related to human intelligence not having any
mm,
cognitive purely
mm,
based on predicting next token that is the concept but in case of the transformer that attention mechanism they are giving ability to predict the next token by considering the meaning of all the previous token So that is the only advantage. So somewhat the accuracy got improved, but the fundamental problem is still there. Not based on, again, not based on cognitive thing, and it is on predicting next token, that concept one. But somehow very magically that predicting next token, it's giving us this excellent story. That is difference. That is what in that video that we're discussing, right? Three brown, one blue. There they explain in animation.
Yes, yes.
So my understanding is basically if we ask any mathematical questions, it will be mostly it will be giving wrong answer. That is why we to go to the chain of thoughts. So we got to ask, do it step by step. So in that case, it's doing the step by step. But in this particular example, they are saying that even if you ask chain of thought, it is telling wrong answer.
Yes, yes.
For that, they are asking in this format, asking process in step, event, and. So normally in school, we'll be doing, right, in this step, what we are doing, what is the answer? Step, what we are doing, what is that? Currently, 293, not 7. Then 26, 10, 74. So it is giving answer. They're just asking other, they are giving tabular. So it's all like it's based on our things. So maybe for some things it may work, something it may not. Again, we have to do based on our use. We have to like ask it give the answer in a tabular form like that. So just we can give the format of the tabular form. Just to fill this form like that, we can be based on. But how much information we are giving, it will be, we have to like so basically if you go through some good articles, they will be explaining in a very very simple way. If you remember that, it is very easy. Basically LLMs are very lazy. If you ask some lazy questions, it will be randomly giving some incorrect. Got the point, right?
Correct, correct.
But if we ask it to do this in this way or that in that way or format in this way, if you like we put some work to get uh, like a lot of information from that. Lot of means not in the amount. If we ask it in, we are digging it very deep, then it will start working in effective way. Otherwise, by default, it will be lazy. You got that right? That is
Yeah,
the fundamental.
we should not use like an Google. It
Yeah,
should
yeah,
be
that is it. Because
we
Google is fundamentally just giving the links to other site,
think
right? So
and
it is
yes,
their responsibility, because that Google will be doing its heavy work when doing the indexing, other things. That is different. Here also, while learning, but it is like provided with lot of things, right? That's what I read in many articles. Like treat it as a like if you let it allow as AC, it will be giving wrong thing. We give lot of work to do, then it will be doing that works and will come up with a proper. So it is one of that approach. They're
yes,
asking it.
yes.
Bias prompting, style formatting, that I search in. Always they are telling about very general thing. Bias means or bias, that and all, right, based on the
How
training
to
data.
bias an LLM? We can't bias anything, no?
That people are saying that, but I haven't tried anything. But when I had that question, I asked in many places, but everyone is saying that learning layers are free chosen. But so I asking our students are asking us. Actually, initially I tried. I just asked the LLMs to remember my latest blog post and other things. I asked it other people ask about. Even I asked it remember my equals URL. If someone is asking to Why just delete that? Normally, it used to say that I cannot change my training data through use prompt. That is what standard thing. But many people are saying that bias LLM corruption can happen prompts. I need to learn more. Whenever I have time, I used to like research about that. Do you have any questions or examples like whether that kind of
Bias thing. Okay.
through prompt? Basically, bias is normally like 9.9% everywhere talking about bias that came through training process. That is fundamentally from the testing data. So the test data, it's just reflecting the real world condition. Real world condition bias is right in every. That same bias is getting reflected LLM through the training data. That case, what they're suggesting, we have to be taking additional care to make sure that that bias is removed, so that at least LLMs can be like working in unbiased. It's completely different thing. That's not only different thing. It's a huge thing. The upcoming that because already the technical thing almost saturated, right? So now that bias, so
Ethical and bias. Yeah.
that is different thing. Switching that things are coming, but whatever you are saying, like so prompt also we can do something, but that technically I don't know how they're. Yes, no.
Other than searching in what like in Gemini, can we search the same query in Perplexity? I think it has some lot of research
Okay, okay.
capability, and maybe that will provide us an more input. I think. Are you got this Perplexity Pro?
No, no, I haven't. But you said for Airtel something we have to buy.
Yeah, yeah. It was very useful. Like if you have a Airtel you are in usual. It's almost 17,000 product they are giving as a pro. No, like you the bias prompting directly like put like an prompt which will give how what is this bias prompt, and can you explain in like something like that in the prompt way. It's bias prompting means you just put that as a Google search.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Well, first of all, in the Google search, it's not giving anything about bias prompting. Right? It's bias
Oh, okay,
training
okay.
bias only.
You.
It's giving.
Oh, okay,
Let
okay.
us know. Also, fundamentally, also there in the case of bias means it's our prompt mistake in prompt. That's what they are telling.
Real.
They are always. For example, I am asking you to write an article about my like you're just thing like the negatives of obviously the results will be negative things, right? But
Yes.
it's at the end of the day, it is our own prompt. It's not about any technical channel companies. Say, for example, Google may be having some policy that whenever they create any kind of articles, positive side. But if someone is intentionally being positive or negative, in that case, it will giving. It's like a prompt creation only. But from I understand,
Okay.
it's a bias in prompt, then always the bias in response also.
Hmm.
But why there maybe they frame the word means if you are creating a application, the prompts will be hard coded, right? System prompts will be hard coded. If I am a developer, something similar to training the model, developing AI also one kind of one time process, right? So you are outsourcing some application. I'm while creating the system prompt, I may be including bias prompt, right? That case, that bias will be there in the application also. Maybe that is the reason why they frame. Otherwise, it's simply like bias in the actual prompting only. But the danger is since all the AI applications are depending on the prompts, so we can overall from like overall view we can consider that there is a bias in the application. That perspective, what the point, or you?
Yeah, yeah, I'm good.
Otherwise, if you find anything technical perspective,
Sure, sure, sure. I will do that.
style formatting also where they are telling like limiting the setting the. Okay, right.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you find something like some kind of technique or trick, give.
Sure, sure, sure. I will do that.
There also something to tabular COTV, right? So here also same thing. While telling that time itself, I told right. We can. It is up to you to come up with different things. So here, in case of symptom prompting, it's a chain of thought. Here we're asking, we are providing this. We are adding step by step means it's chain of thought. It's giving the wrong answer. There is the perspective. What does there, that's just by step. But end of the day, in some cases, even this again we have to further to. But now new models are coming with deep thinking, right? So that case,
No,
all this
I didn't understand chain of thought and symptom. There's in the image, this image. What is the difference?
the particular example you are asking.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
chain of thought, right?
yeah, yeah. Number of like will give that the good
No, no,
like
still you are in that same thing. That's what I'm telling. You are like it's 100%. I understand because myself also I was thinking that way. That is conversation. You're splitting the
okay,
question
fine.
step by step, right?
Step by
That is
step.
that
Yes,
is
yes.
uh, that is completely different. That is not about uh,
Chain of thoughts.
chain of thoughts. Is like adding this word, think step by step or do it step by step.
Oh, let's think step by step on that. Okay.
That word we have to include. That sentence we have to include. Here also they in the step by step.
Let's think.
That word then it is chain of thought. So whatever you are saying that is okay. That is initially I too think in that way only. We can ask one by step by step. That is one approach, but that is not known as chain of thought.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
conversation. Chain of thought means we have to just improve step by step. That will create the magic. That's what here I showed, right? Previously, without the counted step by step, it was giving wrong answer. Once I added this counted step by step, started giving correct answer.
Mm.
Got my point, right?
Yes, yes, I understand.
But in case of that tabular, even provided step by step that instruction, it couldn't give the correct answer. That this tabular advanced. Similarly, here also that though we tried with step by step that, but that represents chain of thought. Tried chain of
No,
thought
like
from
initial prompt, what they're saying. I just want to go through this. Jim put the ball in the box. Okay. While Jim wasn't looking, Yavi moved the ball to the basket. Okay. Okay. Question answering. Where does Jim think the ball is? Let's think by step. Then it is also not taking.
basket because it's not calculation, right? For calculation kind of stuff, step by step, somewhat it will be helpful.
Helpful. Yeah, yeah.
Here
Okay.
it's logic, right? While Jim wasn't looking, that not able to.
Then what is this one is giving? How this problem was
Yeah,
solved?
for that only they are saying that we have to improve this perspective taking. What does Jim? That question. What is in all in the? So
Mm-hmm.
again, after that they are asking where does.
Oh, okay. Perspective thinking, something.
So there that or we can think that you in your own way. You are thinking that that is conversational, right? First we are asking the one getting answer, then asking another. This is what your basic understanding about, right? Previously you were thinking.
Yeah, yeah. I think now it's changed. Yes. Think step by step is something like which will be used as part of chain of thoughts, and here the prospective thinking,
Perspective thing.
perspective thinking,
Taking perspective.
perspective taking. Okay, perspective thinking and perspective taking. Something I think different. Okay. Mm. Okay.
Very simply we can like interactive conversation. So it is
For,
somewhat
for that,
coming to
what
the
they given the name? What is the name they are given for this one?
term. It
Symptom.
seems some character something. So they are associated with this. The diverse they are derived like that sentence because diverse has meaning, right? Diverse in the prompts. Similarly,
uh,
symptom also and that characters.
oh, okay. Okay.
There with that they
It has a two-stage prompting techniques. One is perspective talking, perspective taking. Yeah. Symptom filters context based on the on what the characters in questions knows. Okay. Question and answering. Mm. I think we need to practice this
that's
somehow.
what telling. We need not to worry about all these names and the things. I said we need to understand the fundamental. POT without knowing that just a step by step will work here with the step work. That we cannot not predict, right? That kind of
How
thing.
come TOT is different from COT? Tree of thoughts. Tree of thoughts different from chain of thoughts. No, no, no.
Generally,
This
we are
is
talking.
theory of mind. Like I think
Yeah,
TOM.
we have that also. But here they were talking about something of mind.
Mm.
here we are seeing that at least paths to find the answer. So just simply giving step by step, we are using paths. And again, fundamental thing, step by step.
Hmm.
So I already gone through that proper example. Example, we are using step by step. Step by step, it's essential for any.
Like a chain of thoughts, it is essential. But
Yes,
we need to mention that at least two
two
different
different.
reasoning paths in.
Or explore multiple things like that, some paths. That's what I'm telling. So generally in a lot of things, they simply say that we have to push it to think in a different ways. Then only it will be thinking. Otherwise, if we are expecting like end answer, it won't be. That is a fundamental of prompt engineering.
Okay. Yeah, I think we are good with the prompt engineering.
Then right, track thing. Today we just started the introduction only, right? Today we can complete the theoretical thing. Next is
Hmm.
if you have any questions about RAG, just stop me and ask. Okay, because it is important to like understand each every step.
Correct.
What is RAG? RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation Hybrid Model, combined retrieval based methods with retrieval is getting information from knowledge source. It can be from database, any API, or any web search, any kind of knowledge source. So it's normally whenever we talk about drag, normally people will be saying that it is grounding their responses external. The very basic. But fundamental concept is combining the power of both retrieval process as well as generation process. But that way of doing is it grounding the LLM's responses in external knowledge. Or otherwise, we can say that external knowledge base can be useful for grounding LLMs. At the end of the day, it is like helping to avoid or prevent or reduce hallucination. So that yes, in previous session we discussed three shortcomings of like LLMs. They are subject to hallucinations. They are they have limited knowledge. That means they have cutoff knowledge cutoff date. So after that specific date, they won't be having any information happened after that date. Okay. So first problem hallucination. Second problem knowledge cutoff date, and third problem lack of private information. So to handle those things, the RAG will be helpful. RAG will access up to date information, making the LLM responses more accurate. So fundamentally, the purpose of RAG is providing context. Then that simple question will be coming. So why we need RAG? We can straight away go to LLMs with all the context, external knowledge source, right? So that kind of questions I'm talking over the RAG. Before going to that workflow, I'll be telling about the best process. One is the user in that is very basic RAG. Okay, a RAG pipeline that can include a lot of complex things based on our use cases, but generally these are the very first in task. like in any system, and the retrieval. Model retrieves relevant documents from a knowledge source. The system is retrieving the relevant knowledge. Normally the knowledge source will be vector database. I will explain the reason for that. But it can be anything from any knowledge source. It can retrieve the information. So user asks a question, and the system retrieves relevant documents from knowledge source, and generation, that model generate response based on the retrieved information, that the context information, and the queries then sent to LLM, and the LLM will be generating the diagram that will be here. You are able to read the text, right?
Yeah,
Or
I think could you please maybe increase the font? I'm unable to read the text.
slide control maximum.
Okay, fine.
Maybe just I will be explaining the things then. So these are
Okay.
the documents, multiple documents or knowledge source. Okay, knowledge, as I said, knowledge source be anything, but here we can take it as multiple PDF files for simplicity. And here we have LLM. Okay, so
Mm.
here we are going to retrieve the relevant thing. Here we are going to generate the response. That generation process and the retrieval process we are going to combine, and then we are going to get the full benefit. First user is asking query, and that query is like here getting augmented with context. Here these things are for getting the context. Okay, so user query getting the context chunks, and augmenting the prompt context plus that is into the LLM. That is the fundamental. That is why that name, retrieval augmented generation. In that case we can easily understand, right? We are augmenting the generation by the uh, retrieved context information. Okay. Now let me explain the full process here. We can like divide it into two sections here. If you this section, it's a one-time process. The top section, like documents, LLM embedding, doc embeddings, and storing it in the database. That process is one-time or offline process. Okay. Say for example, assume that you are planning to develop a customer support chatbot for your e-commerce company, and you have a lot of products. Uh, want to allow the users to ask about your products. Okay. For that, you created a chatbot using LLM. The LLM based chatbots are very powerful for handling natural language processing. User can ask questions in any kind of words, right? So in that case, it's okay. But regular retrieval process we cannot do like this. Mostly it will be working based on keyword search. We have to provide exact keyword. Lot of restrictions are there. So in that case, generation that LLMs, that latest technology, NLP advancements will be very useful in that perspective. But the problem is that LLMs are not trained with private data, right? So that won't be having your like um, product and prices about your products, that your product details. Okay, it may be Google may be indexing your website, and from that Google data it might have trained. Okay, but that will be like outdated, right? Your prices you may be changing it, even you may be providing discount offers. Okay, so it can either lack complete private data, even if it is having that private data through public way, that will be mostly outdated, so it may not be having latest information. Okay, and if the user is asking something, and if the LLM is not having relevant details, it may hallucinate. Here we need to understand the fundamental working of LLMs. LLMs are part of generative AI, right? They are fully optimized for generating the content. It's not about as I said, it's not cognitive. It won't understand your questions. You are giving some text. Basically, for it, it's a token. You are providing token. It will be predicting the next token. That's how it's working. So if it is not getting any relevant tokens for generating next token, it will be generating in a random way based on available other trained data, right? In that case, it will be trying to generate answer. If you ask capital of any unknown, like jet, imaginarily you create some country name. If you ask capital of that country, it will be giving that name based on the pattern of the other countries' capitals. Actually, very long back in the 2022 when ChatGPT just started coming popular, that time I used to give news about that things, right? So I used to check that kind of stuff. Always it used to generate a lot of things. But now that internally LLM will be doing that way only, because fundamental change it's not yet happened. But they can manage something similar to, they are including a lot of tool things, other things, right? As a application, they did something, they are doing some verifications, and now it is controlled, but still it can generate a lot of things. Even a few days back I created one ebook about all the frequently asked questions and answers about AI. First few chapters it was writing in a proper way. I used perplexity for that. Initially, I used ChatGPT. ChatGPT started hallucinating after 4 5 chapters itself. That means if there are very common things, if I am asking, telling that topic, it used to generate answers because it's already trained with a lot of data. If I'm giving some subtle titles, instead of saying that I don't have information about that, it started giving it generating its own questions, its own answers related, mostly irrelevant to that topic. Uh, so that's how LLMs are working. That is the inherent nature of that LLMs. We cannot blame for that because they designed for that purpose only. Internal mechanism also like that only. So in that case, if some user customer is asking about some non-existing product, instead of saying that that product is not there, that LLM will start telling some similar product or something name matching with some other completely irrelevant product. It can start giving some responses. It can generate the product and details also. So that is very dangerous thing. So, like all these three things are danger in like a commercial setup, like hallucination, lack of private information, lack of latest information. So, to handle all the things will be affecting in this scenario, our example. So that is why we have to ground that. But if we set up the customer support just by allowing them to search our documents, then it will be working properly. But that NLP feature won't be there. User will have to, like something similar to block search, something we are doing right in a very limited way. That way only it will be working. That is not that much useful. That is very traditional way, right? That is knowledge retrieval process that was there long back. That is reliable, but that is not providing convenience of NLP. We cannot ask it in a very natural way, own language. So that perspective, we have to combine both power. That is where the track plays important role. So for that, we have to augment the generation process with the retrieval process. So for that, we need two things. One is one-time or offline process. So first, we have to. I will explain that offline or one-time process. That one-time process is there are documents. In our examples, it can be any kind of knowledge source. Okay, so here just we can consider PDF files, and we have to convert that PDF files into uh, Word embeddings. Okay, since it's a document, we are calling it here in this diagram doc embeddings, and we have to put it in a vector database. Let me first, but vector database is not a mandatory for RAG. Okay, almost 100, most of them are talking about vector database, but fundamentally we have to retrieve the things from knowledge source, and we need to augment the iteration process. That is the fundamental. But for doing the retrieval quickly, we have to use vector database. Okay, so because we know that, right, computers will be working with numbers better than letters. So there is a way of converting the letters in numbers. What embedding? They are converting the like tokens in equivalent numbers, words into equivalent numbers, arrays or matrices. can assume it that way. Okay. Um, that things can be stored in vector database. Because vector database is multi-dimensional thing, so that is matching with the multi-dimensional nature of that embeddings. So in that case, if we do the embedding search, that performance will be very good. It will be quickly you complete the search, so that will help us to save a lot of time. So in that case, we have to use vector database. A lot of different kinds of vector databases are there. I will explain that here, like Pinecone, Fires, Google, Facebook is providing Fires. PromoDB is a very open source simple vector database, and managed vector databases like Pinecone are there. A lot of things are there that completely topic maybe we can discuss. But as of now, for explaining this, understanding this overall picture, we can understand that vector database is storing the numbers in multidimensional way, so that we can easily uh, the search cosine that research, that kind of search items are there. So it will be returning the top k results, top 3, top 4, whatever top we are setting. It will be fetching the relevant, suppose we are setting top 3, it will be returning the top 3 when we search for that. Say for example, you are having 100 products, and you have like each page for one product, and you are splitting based on the page. The splitting can happen, that is what chunking process, that is a very huge topic. Okay, I provided all the chunking details, everything in my RAG ebook that is available within my recorded course. I check that. Okay, a lot of different things are there, and as I said, I was working with one project that involved a lot of like the ultimate aim is simple only, but that document splitting I needed to explore a lot of things. Normally that splitting will be happening with um, document, that is size and the chunk size and the overlapping. I'll be explaining those things in detail when I show the examples. Okay. But right now we need to understand that chunking it's a very important thing. That splitting the documents, that mostly that will be depending on our use cases based on our documents. But the processes that are common processes, we have to split the documents in multiple pages or paragraphs or multiple fixed size, and then we have to convert that each chunk to equivalent embeddings, and we have to store all those chunk embeddings in vector database. uh, that is offline process, one time process. Up to this clear, right? You have any
Yeah,
questions?
one question here
Yeah.
is like whenever we are putting these documents, and this document is something like an embedding, huh?
Yeah, documents are in text that will be converted into embeddings. Think lot
Embedding,
of,
how this text will be, what is this embedding means?
yeah, that is a huge topic. Maybe I will be just,
Okay,
let me
fine.
first complete that. Embeddings is like a lot of things are there. Okay,
No,
so I watched one video that how beautifully explained, but I'll just for the understanding I will give some simple example. uh, the reason for storing in one is obvious reason, right? Number, it will be very fast, that you understand, right?
yeah.
I will give another before going in detail, I'll complete the process. So this offline overall it's okay, right? Embeddings we can discuss, but
Yeah.
assume that it's some magic
No,
box converting the text
these
into numbers.
embeddings, how they were converted as in vectors.
No, 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 both are like same only. Like that's just
Embeddings
naming.
and
It is
vectors are both
adjective
the same.
like that you can think. Like you are doing embedding to get that vector. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
That is
Vector
its
and
process. That is name. That's it. One is action. One is noun and verb. That like that you can. There is no confusion in that. There is one process only. You are
only one
converting the
process.
document into vectors using the embedding process.
Okay.
Your
Let
question is
me.
what is embedding? That I will explain. Okay. Here
That
you can
okay.
assume that
What is embedding is fine. My question is, this vector and embedding both are like an
Same for the,
pronoun, like there is an synonyms kind of
yeah,
thing you are
yeah,
saying.
synonyms.
Okay, okay,
Embedding is the process. We have to do the embedding, right? So we are calling it embedding here. The end result is that vector.
okay. Once
Vector
the
embedding. So
embedding process
normally
is
in somewhere we can see
over,
vector embedding like that.
okay, once normal embedding process is over, then the output will come as a vector.
Yeah. Somewhere they will be saying that it's a vector or embeddings. Calling
Vector
it.
is something like in a layman, it is something like a number series,
Numbers.
right?
Yeah. Yes. Correct.
Number series. Okay, it will be stored as a number series in one of the database.
That database should be vector database. Actually, for testing purpose, even I used just a notepad also. Even we can store it in notepad. Fundamentally, people
Okay,
will be thinking it's a very big thing with like very complex thing. It's not like that. It's something like a instead of a we can use ASCII key 65, right? Something
okay,
straightforward like that only. We can just type that. Suppose your cat, that embedding is something number 6798 something. You can store it in even in the uh, text text file itself. Okay, but that is not the purpose of embedding, so, right? So the purpose of embedding is we should be able to handle the unique advantage of the or use the unique advantage of the embeddings. It is multidimensional. Just for simplicity, I am saying that it's a number, but it's a multidimensional. That you got that point, right?
yeah, multi-dimensional.
It's
Yes,
not like
understood.
three-dimensional or four-dimensional. 256 like that large number of dimensions. So in that case, that vector database is fully optimized because in the vector database, it can store that multidimensional data as it is without doing any modification or any formatting because that supports multidimensional data.
Okay. Yeah, if we think in the chat GPT point of view internally, uh, there are multiple users who are putting lot of prompts to the LLM, and maybe it is also internally will be storing all these prompts are in the form of vectors only, na?
That also, yeah, I heard that internally transformer model they are using that embeddings because for any kind of processing, like similarly in computer, any processing is done with binary numbers, right? Similarly, for the sake of quick process, they will be converting into embeddings for that.
If you want to access the chat GPT's embedding or vector database, how we can do that?
No, here you are talking about the LLM embedding, right? LLM here refers to like say for
Yeah,
example
yeah,
ChatGPT.
yeah.
That they are providing different LLM service, something similar to GPT-4 for like right now GPT-5 for like our actual NLP process, right? Similarly for embedding, they are providing different embedding services, embedding text.
Oh, API, something like an
Yeah,
API
through
they will
API we
provide.
can access it.
Okay, okay.
For that also we
And
have to pay, but the amount is comparatively less.
okay, um, like for example, um, we purchased a chat GPT, like as a normal software company, we purchased a chat GPT and chat GPT license. It will be like for an 20 license or 30 license, something license they will provide. Whenever we purchase that one, if you want to access this, like there is a rate
No, no,
limit
no.
already
Now I
there.
understand your question. Like now I understand. I thought you were talking. Oh, okay. So RAG instead of setting up all these things through coding, actually ChatGPT paid version is offering you to use that. You are asking about that only.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
of our
directly.
customer I worked that I don't that plus version, but they asked me some questions or they had some difficulties in that. That time through I helped them to sort out that. There, just we can something and that day I showed you like notebook LM, right? So
Yes,
similarly,
yes.
in case of there, just we can upload our own files and we can start talking to that our file.
Okay, okay.
That
That
option
means
is there. That RAG built-in RAG is there with paid. Or do you have paid? Maybe if you are having, I can explain.
no, no, I don't have paid chat GPT. I
But paid ChatGPT, that embedding that service, everything internally they set up everything through GUI. We can just upload the documents and we can talk with our doc.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Even that they provide used it for some book search something. So in that their own application also they used it. For that also they are providing some options used in our own application. So for
Okay.
non-technical users that will be useful. But as I said, it's a bit complex. Like that and all okay for very simple things. It's okay, but it is always better to take full control. You can just get the API access and do it from our
Okay.
for a. But that the paid version is having that option.
Okay.
Now I understand you. That is that embedding is a very like a tricky thing that I will explain one by.
No,
Here
like in some of the developments, I used to heard these words like vector db. We can't it is crossing the rate limit, means we directly need to access the vector db, and from there we need to build our application on top of the vector db itself. We need to build our applications and all. I used to hard in whenever in the development phases, which other people are doing. I wonder, like, there also there should be some rate limit to access this vector DB, na?
that is if you based on you what kind of vector DB you are using. If you are using Fires or ChromaDB, they are fully open source. Case of ChromaDB, you can put it in your local itself. Fires also it will be in memory only. So
Mm-hmm.
there is no limit in that case. But if you are
Okay.
using
This,
Pinecone or any kind of managed thing, they may be posting that thing.
oh, vector DB means like it's not something like an like a MySQL or SQL Server or Oracle, or it's not something like, not like that.
It's a common
This,
name, a
it's a common
database
name.
of
Okay.
storing the vector embeddings.
Okay. Okay.
Even PostgreSQL with some plugins, PG vector something, we can use that. We can convert that traditional database into a vector database.
Okay. Whenever they are storing in this vectors into the database, what is the formats they will use? They use columnar format, or how internally they used to store this inside this vector
That's
DB?
what I'm telling. That we cannot visualize, right? 256 dimension means how to visualize.
Normally, if how they are fitting these 256 dimensions into this DB.
Yeah,
That's
that DB itself designed that way only. But for reading purpose, they may be like they will show that value in arrays. Just if you print it.
okay.
But
Okay.
internally, if you go through any IBM or major organizations picture, you can just place that from that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Yep. That would be very like storing the data into multiple dimensions. It's not an like, as a data guy.
Yeah, it's a yeah. That is what that is why the RAG that developments are happening very quickly now. The concept is very simple. As I said, we have to like find the retrieval and generation. There is no role for vector database in the fundamental definition of RAG. But because of vector database only, that the whole process is working in a smooth way. That is why the RAG is getting important place right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
it's able to otherwise if millions of documents searching them that itself taking 1 minute means no one will be waiting for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll be directly again they will be waiting for the LLMs. They will be depending more on LLMs. So since because of this vector search everything that is quick happening very quickly. Yeah, that day I showed, right, that notebook LM first it is
Yeah,
like
yeah. I already played with the notebook LM as well. It was just like an Spark.
yeah. So internally they are using some kind of that kind of technologies. So
Okay,
So that
okay.
is why now everyone is talking about RAG because of vector database, that kind of. Otherwise, fundamental definition, there is no role of vector database. The retrieval, it can be like a simple keyword retrieval also be by TF, IDF that are there.
I think we need to understand about the embedding process and augmentation process. These both process are
Yeah,
it,
augmentation process very simple that I will explain. Embedding process, maybe some diagrams that will be helpful.
yep.
But yeah, yeah,
As
it's very simple. Like I used to watch a lot of videos about that to understand. But there is no need to understand. That is another thing. But for the curiosity, if you are trying to understand me, it's very simple. Like it will be like counting words in a document, like counting in the sense it going through all the words, and it will be first step as a counting words. Lot of steps are there, different approaches, and at the end of the day, say for example, if cat is there means how many cats are there. So before that, they will be assigning some index for each word. It's not like if cat, dog, some words are there means it won't be storing that words itself. It will be giving some numbers internally for each. First, it will go through all the things. It's kind of NLP first, okay. So it will be finding unique words, and it will be um, giving number for each word, and then it will be counting the words and which word is near to that kind of information. It will start that. For that, they are telling different kinds of approaches: sparse vector, dense vector. So it's like whether that in the sentence this word is there or not. If it is there, it will put 1. If it is not there, it will put 0. Like that only it will start generating the numbers. Got the point, right? Overall picture.
Yes, yes.
But that will be like sparse vector. That is, that the numbers will be very huge, then the processing efficiency will be very less. So for that, they found some tricky ways, maybe some algorithms or some way they reduce it into limited number of dimensions and the data. So that is called dense vector. Because of the dense vector only, we are seeing that much growth now. But fundamentally, if you go through that kind of videos, it will be very simple, like counting the things. And by doing that, they another thing is they will be adding meaning, semantic meaning. That is very, very much important. That first session, I remember I explained that, right? You are familiar with the semantic search, right?
Yeah, semantics is something like it can be used by the developers as a business analyst, a functional guy, or whatever it may be.
No,
It
no.
will be
Fundamentally,
uh,
what is semantic search? Do you have any?
yeah, anybody can put their search in a different manner that automatically it will bring
No,
the
yeah, that is okay. But anyway, like say for example, uh, you know that Madras is the old name of Chennai, right?
Chennai.
You can ask the population of Chennai or the population of Madras. So
Madras.
that system should understand both things. Even if it is trained fully with Madras or Chennai, it should understand the semantic meaning also.
Okay.
Semantic means not just alternate name, can be abbreviation or whatever it is. You got that point, right?
Alternative
Yeah,
words.
alternate to altogether.
Yeah, synonyms, something like the
Yeah,
same.
something, not exactly synonyms, something,
Hmm.
including synonyms. And other than that, appreciation can be there, old names there, alternate, like that kind of stuff. Or in
Okay.
case of currency, if I'm talking about 80 rupees, it should be considering in $1 like that. So something that meaning should be there, but in a different way. That is
Yes.
what is semantic meaning. So while doing that embedding, that will consider semantic meaning also. That is very much important. While assigning that number or putting the words in near or far away, in that case, it will be treating. Say for example, if your document is talking about a kingdom, palace or something, there it will put the king and queen nearby. Even
Hmm.
palace, other thing, it will be giving nearby numbers. It will be doing that encoding in that way. But if you are talking about or your document is about a mattress company, there if you are coming across king, queen, that thing, the size and the mattress, that things will be having closeness to king and queen than the palace and like sipais or something. You got the point, right, soldiers?
Yes. Yes.
So if it is kingdom, the kingdom related things will be closely related. If it is mattress company, mattress related thing. So here the king, in this first case the king, second case king, it is completely different. So that is what real world thing, right? So it is for reflecting the real world things instead of just a literal thing. It will be arranging the words in such a way that a similarity score is similar to or almost same to similar words. So that is what we do when we are doing vector search. So user is asking some question. So the question is in text. Our vector database is having that data in numbers, embeddings, vectors. So in that case, we cannot search the text among that numbers, right? So again, we have to do the embeddings of that user query, and that will be called as query vector. With that query vector, we have to do the search of that doc embeddings. That is what vector search, like different ways are there. Normally, cosine similarity will be, so that will be comparing the numbers, like we are as a LLM, the user query, that embedding that query vector, that will be having some numbers. Here the vector database, that will be having different sets of, for each chunk it will be having different numbers, right? So it will be doing that vector search to find that the cosine similarity is like what are the chunks are related to this query vector. So their top k results will be returning. So in that case, if we are setting the k as 3, means it will be returning top 3 results. So that top 3 results are called as context chunks. Okay. So that is what augmentation process. In case of augmentation, we are getting that context chunks from these vector search results, right? So that context chunk, and again that user query, we are taking that user query and using that context, right? Query plus chunk, and any system prompt. The system prompt can be like use this context information for giving answer to this question, like that we can give a context, right? So that system, I mean system prompt, that system prompt, context chunk, and the user query, you have to combine everything. That is what augmentation process. And then we have to send that final prompt into the LLM to get the response. Got the
Okay.
point, right?
Yeah.
So for example, if the user is asking you, the document is all your 10 products, product A, product B, products, like that, 10 products are there. And the user is asking about what is the price of product C. So that search will be returning 3 results in product C, like that. Say we have to send that query, what is the price of product C. Now LLM can easily understand, because it already have the answer prompt itself. So you can easily label answer, because now there is no option for hallucination because the data is provided. Fundamentally, hallucination will occur when the data is not there. That is what I previously explained, right? The fundamental generation. So, but here we are not going to give any option to generate because already the information is there. So obviously it should give answer based on that context.
Okay, if you want to build this RAG, this RAG is something like an agent. That's what I'm understanding.
No, it is not agent. It is workflow. It's fundamentally workflow. That is whenever you are talking about this kind of AI application, there are 3 different agents, agentic AI. It is workflow. It's fully reactive. Here there is no like proactive things. Here, after user get the query, you are doing search. It's predefined only. You are not here not reasoning. Nothing. Workflow. It's just workflow. This one. Agent is like it should be reasoning, like perceive the
It
environment.
should have a mind and it should have an instruction. Based on that, it will act. That is an agent.
Yeah.
Okay,
Here
but
the,
here there is no agent.
yeah, nothing.
All this process, who will do that? This embedding process and generation process,
Yeah.
augmentation process.
That is system prompt. It's pre-written, right? You have to write the AI application. There we have to write it.
We need to write as a system prompt. Huh?
Yeah, we have to write like user query. We can say, for example, user query is something we are assigning it as user query. Context chunks we are keeping context chunk variable. So that the system prompt we can type like okay, use the user query to like use the context chunk to give answer for this. It's a one time coding, right?
Okay. Okay.
Fully proactive only, dynamic thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the key part is augmenting that. Without augmentation, can the hallucinate. But because of the augmenting with the relevant chunks, Thanks, it is able to give the reliable answer, private information, latest power of RAG. And
Oh,
here all the things here that context information, everything is because of one specific reason. They assume that here our intention is we have to provide these documents. Like we can think that why we have to do all these things. While send, can just upload all these documents. Like I was telling as an example, product A, product B, up to product 10 products, right? So all the 10 documents we can upload, and then we can ask questions. LLM should be giving the answer, right? But the technical reason is that LLMs, all the LLMs are having certain context limit. They cannot process huge data. They have certain limitation in processing content. But recently, that is the reason why RAG was born. But recently, all the new LLMs are coming with millions of context, especially Gemini models are coming with large, like more than 1 million tokens. In that case, a lot of discussions are going on saying that RAG is dead, like that. Search RAG is dead. A lot of articles will. But
yeah, I search for one more thing like Transformer also dead, and they are coming up with new process saying that multiple mixer of recursion.
a lot of things research are going on. Few weeks back, I uploaded one video based on MIT's research that will be combining the regression and fusion model for coming up with way of generating image. As they are calling it as HART, HART. A lot of researches are going on, but we need to wait. Based on my understanding, some lab level research are going on, means coming into the market that will take more. But this RAG is dead. That a lot of people are always telling whenever new LLMs are coming with context window. But personally, I feel that RAG will be continuing. The reason is one reason, obvious reason. Though technically it allows millions of tokens, if we are going to send millions of tokens, then the API charge will be like in thousands of, right? Will not prefer that one from cost perspective. And another reason is even if they are willing to spend money, LLMs won't work, even though technically they are allowing millions of tokens. If we send the full tokens, like millions of tokens, that performance will be like very poor. The performance will be good only when we provide relevant context. That is fundamental fact. RAG will be
Hmm.
the good partner.
Yeah, if it is rag dead, then it will be agent decay only, na?
No, completely different topic. That's what I'm telling. This just workflow. Here we are like RAG addresses these three things: avoiding hallucination and private information, knowledge cut. It addresses different kind of thing. Agentic AI. I was talking about AI agents, right? It pursue
Hmm.
the environment, it plan and it act. Right? So
Hmm.
the agentic AI is it's like a combination of like orchestrating multiple agents that way.
Hmm. Hmm.
That are quite some advanced thing, powerful.
Hmm.
That is completely different.
Hmm. Hmm.
But
Hmm.
RAG and RAG, agentic RAG is there, some combination of that. Of
Okay.
this workflow, we can have agentic RAG also. RAG,
Okay. Okay.
but the fundamental is in case of RAG, we are augmenting that process by. So there, if you do in a simple coding or do practice something, you can easily understand. You are asking what is the capital of Delhi to completely different from what is the capital of by providing other like capital of Tamil Nadu, capital of Karnataka, capital of that if you provide that list also, then it can 100% it will be giving correct answer. Got the point, right?
Correct, correct.
That is the fundamental of RAG. So how we are providing that is different. So for that one is we are providing vector database. Other than CAG also there, cached documented, giving all the data at once and keeping in cache memory. That kind of technology also there. A lot of people are coming up with a lot of things, but only thing is the fundamental limitation of LLM. Uh, when we when we can send relevant information along with our query, then the performance of LLM will be fundamental fact. We are building the systems around that fact.
Okay.
But now MCP, other things are now like addressing these things in different way. At the end of the day, the becoming wrong way because of lack of context. Is able to understand about all our product, our private information, all the things. Those things we don't need all these things. Just like throw the query, right? That is what the MCP, that kind of latest things are trying to address. Maybe your question, maybe from that perspective. So in that case, like if you provided with connecting with all the available data available concept, then our query is enough, right? Even in that case, I be connecting with our database also. That is different approach.
Okay. Okay.
So that is what now people are generally calling context engineering. We have to provide context, right? So in which way we are providing that context, that is different solution. Tag one
Yes, yes.
is without the proper context, LLMs cannot work properly. The fundamental problem. We are trying to address that. Maybe if you think about it and if you are coming up with new solution, that also appreciate. Because LLMs are hallucinating because of that lack of context.
Hmm. Understand, understand. Okay. Thank you, Rajamanikan sir. Tomorrow we'll connect or we'll connect on Monday.
Tomorrow we can connect. Friday only, right?
Tomorrow is just Independence Day.
Evening time only, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So if you
We'll
are
connect.
available, we can connect. You have any work?
Maybe people like
Okay, okay,
family, na
okay, okay, okay.
family. They used to
Then
ask to
okay,
take.
Monday. Then we can connect Monday.
Yeah,
Because 3 4 days that person not joined, right? Even if
yeah.
he is joining, I
Are you
can
called him? Are you called him?
I just send message. First day he reply stacking in. And after that after that also I send message.
Okay.
Calendar he should be receiving calendar. So he is in like engaged with lot of work.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Yes, maybe even if he is
second
joining, I will be talking about very fundamental things. Maybe we can
solely
discuss.
to. Okay, what is his name? What is the other guy name?
You can see that calendar.
Solid to do remains something is solid to do remains. I don't know. Mail ID only I'm saying
Okay, okay, okay.
solitude remains
Name
solitude.
started like Punch.
Okay, okay.
So then we can then discuss Monday, right?
Yeah, yeah, we can connect on Monday. Yeah, thank you, Raj. Bye.